G'day guys, welcome back to another episode.
G'day.
If you missed last week, we caught the Spirit of Tasmania over to Devonport, and this week we are exploring the northwest corner of Tassie.
At the moment we're just on our way into the Trewater Arch. It's part of the Tarkine tourist drive just south of Smithton. Can't wait to show you that. That's coming up a little bit later. Let's take you back though to when we left Forth, which was that awesome little rec ground that we showed you last week where we got off the ferry. Awesome little spot there. While we were in Devonport, we had a few little odd jobs we had to get sorted out. We had to get a new windscreen. I don't know if you saw in the last episode, we had a decent crack across the windscreen after picking up an unlucky stone chip on the way to Geelong. And we also had to wait for a few packages and parcels to arrive. So we thought, let's shoot up into the mountains and check out an awesome little farm stay known as Mount Nonam Farm.
Highly recommend it. It's 20 bucks a night and there's heaps to see in the area. There's a great hike called the Mount Nonam Lookout Hike, and there's another one nearby called Mount Dial. We did the Mount Nonam and it was spectacular.
This is the Mount Nonam trail up to the peak, I think, of Mount Nonam. So it's only about 3 minutes drive and then a 1 hour return walk from the Mount Nonam farm where we're staying at the moment. So she's a steep little walk, but I reckon we're gonna get rewarded with a cracking view. Yeah, we had a great little hike there heading up to Mount Nonam. Awesome views from up there, and if you pick the weather, you can see right out to the coast there. Absolutely stunning. Mount Nonam as well, while we were there, had a little event on a Sunday afternoon, which was fantastic. They had animal petting, they had some live music. We just kicked back on the grass there and had a couple of bevies, which was great. Awesome atmosphere, so definitely check out their calendar on their Instagram and see if they've got any events coming up. Mount Nonam is 20 bucks a night. Like they said, they've only just started accepting campers, but it's a great little spot. Easy drive into Penguin and Ulverston to explore around there. We took the kids into Ulverston water slide. There's this awesome little community water slide in town, 10 bucks for 10 goes, and the kids just absolutely frothed on it. They had so much fun. So when the weather's good, we've learnt in Tassie, take advantage of it. And Ulverston's water slide was definitely a good way to do that. So after we left Mount Nonam Farm, we headed back down towards the coast for a change of scenery and headed down to the Berry Patch. The Berry Patch is only about 10 k's out of Devonport, or 10 minutes I should say, out of Devonport. And it's just another really good low-cost camp. 10 bucks a night, this one. There's water available if you want to throw a couple of dollars in as well. And it's walking distance from the berry farm itself.
It's also awesome if you're coming in from the Spirit of Tasmania. It's only, like Simon said, 10 minutes, and it's self-check-in if you're getting in at 9 o'clock or 5 a.m. You just rock in, pull up, and fill your water tanks, and then head over to the cafe when you're ready and pay your 10 bucks. So at the berry farm, you can pick your own raspberries. They've got so many to choose from. It's literally just go nuts. It's amazing.
Kids love that.
Highly recommend it. Yeah, absolutely. The cafe there is top notch. Coffee is good. The ice cream is probably the best ice cream I've ever had. I cannot think of a better ice cream.
No.
And I don't really go much on ice cream. It was amazing.
Me either, but that was top notch.
You'll see it and you'll know what we're talking about. You'll want it as soon as you see it.
Great playground there for the kids as well. Good spot for them to hang around. Just made for a really good vibe to hang out. Good atmosphere. Always busy too.
really busy. It's school holidays at the moment though, so.
Yeah, but if you are thinking of going there, might be worth booking a table if you're going for lunch or something like that. I think it's open, the cafe, Wednesdays through Sundays through the peak periods.
Yeah.
And from there we headed across to Stanley. So Stanley, most famously known for the nut, that's where we're staying at the moment. The weather's been a little bit ordinary, so we've waited for the weather to come good before we go and explore the nut and some of the coastal stuff. Today we're just headed inland. We're doing the Tarkine River, I think it's called the Tarkine Tourist Drive.
Yeah.
First stop is here at Toowoomba Arch. Let's go in and have a check out of this place, because from what we've seen online and on Instagram, it looks like a pretty special little cave system. So we're going to go and check that out now. Let's head in.
Let's go. Really interesting. It was a nice easy walk. I actually quite liked the walk in itself.
Yeah.
Probably more, I think, because I've sort of seen photos of the arch, I knew what to expect, but it's often the journey, like the feeling of the cool temperature rainforest.
Such a cool rainforest.
I love it.
So glad to be back in the Tassie rainforest. We love all this this type of terrain, and it just makes for beautiful walks. And while the wind's up at the moment, we thought, why not head inland and get away from it? We got my mum staying with us at the moment as well, so if you're wondering where the kids are, we've got a bit of an extra set of hands for the next few days, so that's going to come in super handy. We're going to take advantage of that. All right, let's jump back in the car and see what else we can find.
All right, let's go. Nestled into the northwest corner of Tasmania is the Tarkine Rainforest, which is the second largest temperate rainforest in the world. It is virtually untouched in the northwest pocket of Tassie. It's 477,000 hectares of wilderness that just holds an enormous amount of flora, fauna that's found only here. It is simply breathtaking. You have to get yourself over here to the northwest. It's just incredible.
All right, today's mission is to climb this nut, the nut at Stanley. So there is a chairlift option as well to head up there, but we're going to do the tough way. We're going to walk it. So we're just walking up from the caravan park up to the nut track. From what we've heard, it's short, but it's steep. So I think it's about 20 minutes up, and then there's a 1 minute. There's a 1 hour loop track at the top once you get up there to wander around and have a good look. The weather, well, it's improved.
This is as good as it gets.
I think this is as good as it gets for here. So it's just a little bit cloudy, but the sun comes out every now and then. The wind's still blowing 10, 15 knots, but we'll take it. It's probably the best weather we've had since we've been here. So taking advantage of that. Big climb up this hill, but the kids are full of beans, so I think it's going to be good to get some energy out of those guys.
Absolutely.
Good for us as well. Stretch the legs and hopefully get a good view up here. So let's give it a crack.
Last night at about 10:30, we had this really strange noise, and it was a bunch of fairy penguins roosting underneath the caravan. So it's really cool. So yeah, definitely recommend going out for a night explore if you're in Stanley to go check out the fairy penguins. They're really, really cute.
The other option for where to stay in Stanley is the rec ground, they call it. I think it's part of the golf club. It's not far from the caravan park either. I think it's about $10 a night, and there's water available there as well, which is pretty handy. So we're finding there's a lot of really good low-cost camps in Tassie, as well as the free camps as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been pretty good. 10 to 20 bucks a night seems pretty much the ballpark, which is good. Anyway, it's already getting steep. If I keep talking to you, I'm going to run out of breath.
Yeah.
So let's get up the hill and check out this view. Look at that view already. It's going to be pretty spectacular, I think.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds?
I think we're there, kiddos. I think we're there. I think we made it. Although it's a sharp, steep climb up on top of the nut, it does end relatively quickly, and although it takes the breath out of you, we had a quick breather and then headed off on the 1 hour circuit around the top of the nut. The circuit, once you get up on top, is pretty easy. It's relatively flat up there, but it gives awesome vantage points at a number of spots around and gives you a really good perspective of the landscape. We got awesome views out across Bass Strait, as well as looking back towards Tasmania and Cape Range National Park. And then as we came around the backside of the nut, we could look back down into Stanley Harbour and the historic town of Stanley itself.
Could it be?
So the nut is actually the remains of a volcano. It's what they call a volcanic plug, which, as we understand it, is the central part of the volcano once the rest of the volcano has eroded away, and it sits 140 metres above sea level and absolutely dominates the landscape from every angle. It's a really awesome and unique little geological feature, and I highly recommend coming and putting this one on your list on your trip to Tassie.
Oh, I wonder.
Well, that was nuts. What a cracking little climb that was, going up and exploring around up on top of the nut there. That was
worse. The jokes are getting worse.
Thought we'd reward the kids with a bit of an ice cream there at the bottom too. That was a little grandma promise, that one was, if they were good little hikers, and they certainly earned it.
We certainly bribe our children when it comes to hiking.
The sun has finally come out, so I think we're going to go and enjoy our last day here in Stanley, just chilling out on the beach, letting the kids have a play in the sand. It's the best weather we've had by far. The sun's out, the wind's died right off. There is still a gentle breeze blowing, and it's still not, I wouldn't call it warm, but we'll take what we can get. We've really enjoyed the town of Stanley. It's such an awesome little quirky town. They've done such a good job of preserving it, the way that the buildings have been restored and preserved, and it's just so quiet. Even though it's the peak season here, we're just been wandering around. You can wander around all the streets. Everything's in walking distance. There's not a heap of traffic. It's just got a really good feel to it.
And the locals are so incredibly friendly, and they're
Really
all
friendly.
full of amazing tips and tricks for the whole area. They all seem to be explorers and hikers and fishermen, and they've
Yep.
all got top spots they want to share with you. So, I mean, if we did them all, we would never leave Tassie.
It's been a definite highlight
Yeah.
of the trip, so definitely make sure you add Stanley to your list. we are going to be heading from here down, continuing more around the west coast and exploring down there. We've got Cradle Mountain coming up and a heap of other things. We can't wait to show you that. But coming up next week is going to be the first of our 12-part off-grid series.
Yeah, we're so looking forward to sharing this. This has been a long time coming. We've had this planned in our back of our brains for almost a year now. But we've broken it down into 12 parts, and so we're really going to dive into the nitty-gritty of living off-grid, what that looks like, how to go about it, how to sort of work out what's going to suit you.
What you need for the way you want to travel, that's right. So it's not really about necessarily just all the gear we use. It's really going to be about how to figure out what you need to do the type of travel that you want to do. So not just caravanning, not just the way we travel, but everything we've learned and everything we've seen on the road of the way everyone else does it, as well as the way what we do it as well. So it's trying to be all encompassing, and we've got some exciting stuff as well. We're going to be doing some giveaways as part of that as well.
Yes. Yeah, exciting. So we're going to be going over things like battery systems, water, compost toilets, food storage, electrical, I think I said electrical, heating, cooling, like just all of the questions we get asked on the daily. And we've created basically just a series of videos to go through them. So
so if there's
subscribe.
anything, make sure you subscribe. And if there's anything that you want us to cover in that series, make sure you drop it in the comments below. As we said, the first one of them coming out next Sunday, and then the week after that, we'll be back into our regular Tasmania travel episodes. We've also got some other new content coming up. So heaps still coming up. Can't wait to show you all that if we get around to editing it all and creating it all. But big news as well, this is the most up-to-date we've ever been on YouTube. So we've finally caught up. It's Saturday now. You're going to be seeing this video tomorrow. So I've got to go and edit this. So we better stop rabbiting it on.
We're under the pump. We've got like 14 hours until this video comes out.
Yeah, make sure you stick around for the outtakes. They're coming up now. As always, guys, though, we'll see you next Sunday.
See you Sunday, guys.
Cheers.
Just let these guys go.
Yeah. I don't know when that other one stopped recording, eh? Or even if it was ever recording to start with.
It might not have been recording it at all. But almost just went up.
All right, now
tell the camera what you're filming on what cameras.
Yeah. Maybe all that audio stuff I said to camera didn't even work. Yeah, I just thought I did.
No, not at all.